Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it's time for your Leeds United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers preview. Excuse the muffly tones. I'm full of cold, I can't lie. It's just adding to the further depressive state that I currently find myself in when it comes to Leeds United. And listen, I tweeted out yesterday, listen, all my hopes were pinned on the press conference. I was hoping for the return of Rafinha. I was looking forward to the return of Calvin Phillips, maybe even Patrick Bamford or Luke Ayling thrown in there. And who can even remember Robin Koch? I don't even know what it looks like anymore, to be honest. So let's find out if them players are back and how that mood has changed. I'm sure a lot of you will already know the current situation that Leeds United find ourselves in as we look ahead to the game against Wolves. Before we go through what was revealed in the press conference, let's touch a bit on what Bielsa had to say about Southampton. What came out from one of the main talking points is that Bielsa has found this to be one of his most difficult weeks as head coach of Leeds United. He said he's had about 5 or 6 instances like this at Leeds United. We could think back to maybe obviously the first season when the Derby situation happened. You've got the Nottingham Forest situation when we'd gone on that run without winning any games. He mentions 5 or 6. I don't remember as many, but obviously it'll cut Bielsa deep. But yeah, this has been one of his most difficult weeks. And I think a lot of us believed that this was probably one of his worst games as coach, as Leeds United under Bielsa, for sure. He went on to say, I know the errors we made at Southampton. The first thing you want to know is why it happened, and then you need the fortitude to avoid that repeating. And I think that's where I'm at as a Leeds United fan. Look, before we touch on Wolves, this is going to be a very, very difficult game. Wolves are a great side under Bruno Lage. We don't have a great record against them. They're going to be, chasing European places for me. So it's going to be difficult. So regardless of result, I just want a performance. We're owed a performance. We need a performance. And I think that's what Bielsa's alluding to there, is just having the fortitude to avoid repeating what happened at Southampton. Because know that Elland Road's not going to be a great place if we concede early and we just don't create anything like against Southampton. We have to change it. He went on to say, look, I don't ignore the last game. It wasn't just any other game. We were far from playing how we tried to. And I think as Leeds United fans, the least we expect is effort. I felt against Southampton, we were devoid of effort. I don't think we will see a repeat of that. I'm hanging my hat and saying that Leeds United will perform. It might not result in 3 points, but I expect a performance. One of the reasons, and again, it is just one reason, but it's been the main reason why we're getting draws and points and goals this season, is the fact that Rafinha will play. Rafinha will play. He will play on Saturday, which is massive for Leeds United. Jack Harrison wasn't quite up to it. I don't think he performed really well. If he keeps with Dan James on the left, then Rafinha's going to come in on the right, and I expect Jack Harrison to drop out. And I'll touch a little bit later on how I would like, and I expect Bielsa to line up just later on in the video. But Rafinha is back. That's a massive, massive plus, because we were devoid of any sort of outlet when we played Southampton. But that is the only good thing to come out of the press conference, because Calvin Phillips is still unavailable. Bielsa said he's healthy, but because he's been missing for 3 weeks, putting him in against Wolves on Saturday would be too quick. It'd be too quick. He's probably not been involved in many murder ball games, and Bielsa thinks it's not good to put him in. I know these large sections of the Leeds United fan base are saying a 70% Calvin, get him in. We need him. But what's the point in that if he was to then break down again? We need Calvin for the rest of the season, not just for this game. So I'm gutted, but Calvin doesn't make it. Okay, Calvin doesn't make it. Bamford's out, and Luke Ayling and Robin Koch still remains out. Robin Koch's going to be another month yet. Bamford and Ayling, another 2 games. Now, as a Leeds United fan, I'm hoping that then 2 games also include the midweek cup tie against Arsenal, because we need them for Norwich. If we lose at the weekend, and there's a big chance we might, that Norwich game is huge. It is massive, and we need to have Bamford And Elland, I would say Elland as well. We need his experience. We need him back in the side. But them two are not going to be fit for the weekend. And I'm just hoping that when Bielsa mentioned 2 more games, he's also including the Carabao Cup tie against Arsenal and not just 2 league games. Because if they're missing for Norwich, you know my thoughts on Norwich. I'm petrified about that game. I'm petrified we give them their first win. They ain't winning at the weekend, so I think they've got Chelsea or a top 6 side for sure. But yeah, it's threadbare. Leeds United are threadbare at the minute. You can lay the blame at many players' doors, and we dissected that yesterday on the midweek fix. I don't want to focus too much on that. We've got to look at the positives. We've got to look at getting a result on the weekend. You know, Marcelo Bielsa had a message for the players. He said commitment and not indifference, responsibility and not passing over your responsibilities, hope and faith before disappointment. He's had words to say in the press conference, and no doubt he's had words to say during the week, and he's had words to say after that Southampton game. And we, as a fan base, are due a performance from this side. Because if we're being totally honest, we had half an hour against West Ham and a performance against Watford. And Watford ain't great. So we need to see more, you know, to boost us. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, we are without key personnel. Luke Ayling, Koch, Calvin, you know, we're pretty threadbare. So in terms of lineup, what I expect now, Wolverhampton Wanderers will line up with like a back 3, 2 wing backs, 2 midfielders, and 3 up top. That means for me, we're going to go with a back 4, and I'm glad for that because I'm done with this 3-3-1-3. I know Bielsa won't be, but whenever we adopt that style, we never do well. We never do well in the 3-3-1-3. So go back with the back 4. Junior Firpo as well, one that I didn't add in. He's also missing. I wish he was back because Stuart Dallas has just not had a great season so far in any position whatsoever. But I do have faith in him. Of course I do. Last year's player of the season, but he needs a rest for me. But he's going to play on the weekend. Your full backs for me will be Jamie Shackleton, Stuart Dallas. In at centre-back will be Diego Llorente and Liam Cooper. Now, Stroud drops out for me. And I would, and I hope Bielsa goes with Adam Forshaw. I would like Adam Forshaw to play in midfield. Otherwise, Click is just going to be on his own. I seen someone put a tweet out earlier on of that, you know, that meme of Will Smith in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, just like looking round, where's my midfield? And know that when they've got Neves and Moutinho, they're going to control that if we do not give Click some help in there. Yeah, and for me, that's why I would play Adam Forshaw. A lot of people disagree. Me and Lucy touched on it yesterday in the midweek fix. I think Forshaw added something. Okay, it wasn't great, but we had someone stood there. Like, we just need someone in the middle of the park. So I would play Adam Forshaw. Matthias Click and Tyler Roberts. Okay, Tyler Roberts, again, a lot of people are not going to be happy about this and will think we'll lose just because he's been named on the team sheet. But again, he owes us a performance. Like, listen, he has had so many chances. And if we had a better squad, he wouldn't be in the squad. It's facts, right? Anyone who pulls on the white shirt, I will support them. But, you know, and I do back him because I feel like he's a lightning rod at time for people's... When we ever do well, it's just Tyler, it's Tyler, it's Tyler. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. If it's not Tyler, it's Cooper. Do you know what I mean? And there's a reason for that because Tyler's just not really give us anything. But he has to perform. He has to perform. He will play alongside Click in the middle of the park. On the right will be Rafinha, James on the left, and Rodrigo up top. I've seen people coming up with some play Lewis Bate. Look, I'd love that. Lewis Bate's not going to play though. We know that Bielsa, what he does with his under-23s, they spend a year in the under-23s. The following season, we then start to see them on the bench. Hence why we see Geldart, Greenwood, etc. on the bench now. Bate's a long way off that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm proved wrong. But I don't think he'll be even in the squad. I would go with Adam Forshaw. Will he make it through 90 minutes? I'm not sure. But let's use him and try have some resemblance of control in the first half or up to the point where he has to come out. Because if you put Pascal in there, and I love Pascal, I absolutely love Pascal, but he can't play that role. He goes missing. Robin Koch, the same. I'm sorry. It is what it is. When Calvin's out, we never do well anyway. But if you're going to replace him with someone or put someone in there, for me, Adam Forshaw. That would be my lineup. I want to know yours in the comments below. Look, we're now going to touch on Wolves. Like, Wolves, great side. They have won 4 out of their last 5 games. I said when I previewed these next run of games that if they were to beat Villa in the Black Country Derby, that's 3 wins on the bounce. And what a way they won the game as well. They won it in the last 10 minutes, you know, with goals from like Captain Cody. You had Neves as well, wicked deflection, but still, I mean, that away end after they scored that third and the winner, it reminded me of Kamar Roof when we beat Villa 3-2 down there. And Leeds United's record against Wolves is not great. We've lost 5 straight league meetings against Wolves and scored just 1 goal. 1 goal in 5 games. Obviously, we can go back to their championship season when they had the likes of Barry Douglas, etc., who can remember that free kick that he scored. That team in the championship was insane. And then obviously last season, we lost 1-0 both times. So Dama Traore and I think Raul Jimenez for both them goals. Both them games, sorry. So yeah, not the best record against Wolves. And we've only scored 1 goal against them. And the Bruno Lage era at Wolves is now starting to really take form and starting to gain traction. I was saying they could be in trouble before the season started. How wrong I were, because now, as I say, a run of 4 wins in 5 Premier League games. And for me, they will challenge for Europe. 100%. They will be up there challenging the likes of Everton, West Ham, Leicester for European qualification. I do rate them that much. And if they were to win here at the weekend, that would be 4 consecutive top flight matches for the first time since 1972. So that's quite a feat for them and a record for them to go to. Obviously, Pedro Neto's out, which is huge. And Trincao, who, when I've seen Wolves this season, when he has played, he's been a great player. He's a doubt as well, and hopefully he will be out. The better players that are out, the better for Leeds United. But of course, he would be replaced with like Adama Traore. If Trincao plays and he's fit, he probably will come in. But if not, you've got Traore to deal with. And you know my thoughts on Traore. I don't really think he's great. And if you look at like dribbles per 90, obviously it's off the chart. But then you look at like goal scoring chances. All these stats show that everything tea to green with Traore is amazing. But it's when he gets to that point and then it just falls to bits. I said this last season and he went and scored. Yes, it was dodgy, but he's a player that really worries me in that, look, I say the same about Alan St-Maximin. Of course, they can cause Leeds United, due to the man-marking system and dragging players all over, all sorts of problems, and he will. And he will cause us all sorts of problems. Stuart Dallas has got to deal with him, man. Yeah, we've got a proper left-back, you know. It's going to be tough. So he is one to really watch out for. But just to go through their lineup, what I expect, it'll be Sarr in goal, who when they've signed, I thought he's been, coming in after Rui Patricio's left. He's looked really good. He's actually in my FPL team. They'll have a back three probably of Kilman, Cody, and Romain Saiss. Again, Saiss, another player I really like. The fullbacks, Nelson Semedo, Marcel. On the other side, on the left-hand side, you'll have Neves and Moutinho sitting in there. That's why it's important we have a midfield. Otherwise, they two will just, I don't know, it'll be like men against boys. They'll be thinking, are we actually going to be challenged at any point? Because they're 2 exceptional midfielders. They're 2 great midfielders that could play for a top 6 side and could be in their squads for sure. So if we don't have a midfield, they will just run up shot. It'll be insane. And then I expect Traore from the right, new signing Hwang Hee-chan from the left, who he's been great since he come in. He's got 3 goals in just 5 games for them and really got them ticking over. And of course, Jimenez up top. Can cause us all sorts of problems. He's a great centre forward, and prior to his injury was right up there. And a lot of big clubs within this division were looking at him. You know, I think Manchester United were linked, and obviously he gets injured, and then they go for Edgar Chani. Edgar Chani. I wish they had Edgar Chani. Do you remember Edgar Chani, by the way? Edison Cavani. There's a massive difference between the quality of them two for sure. But yeah, Jimenez up top causes all sorts of problems. Look, I'm really worried. I can't lie. You know me, I'm positive, and this is like Bielsa said this was the worst week as him as a man. It's probably been my least positive week under Bielsa's tenure, because Southampton wasn't great, and then I look at Wolves and I genuinely am worried. I think we do well to even get a point, and that's tough. I think we will do well to even get a point. I was hopeful, genuinely, had the press conference gone as I'd liked and Bamford, Rafinha and Calvin been back in, I'd have been backing us 2-1. I'd have said 2-1. But with just Rafinha being back, square pegs in round holes across the back line, you've got Dallas and Shackleton at fullbacks up against Hwang Hee-chan, Traore, Roberts in the high 8, as it were. Noah Bamford, Rodrigo, poor against Southampton. We'll do lucky to get a point. I'm going to go for 1 apiece, and that's probably the first time ever under Bielsa's tenure that I've gone for a draw. Even when we played Man City, etc., last season, you guys, no, I said 2-1, man, we could do it. But yeah, I'm gonna go for 1 apiece, which pains me to say it. And if this run continues, there might actually be a point where Joe Wayman predicts a loss. I can't imagine that. But yeah, look, I'm not confident. But I wasn't confident against West Ham. And look what happened. So hopefully we'll get a surprise, we'll get a shock. They owe us a performance. That is for sure. Bielsa regularly, when these sort of situations happen, we come out the other side and we do better. And I'm hoping, more of the same this weekend. 2-1 would be huge. 2-1 is like, please, come on. But I think we'd do well to even get a point against this Wolves side. They've never won 4 on the bounce in the league since 1972. It's a long time. And that sort of thing gives me a little bit of confidence. Okay, that's quite a mean feat for them to achieve that. Elland Road will be rocking to begin with, of course. We'll show them the support, but they need to reciprocate that because it'll start to change. It will start to change and it'll get tough. It will get tough. We can't concede early. We cannot concede early. If anything, we have to score first. And I know it's a cliche, Leeds United, we score first, we do well, but we have to. We have to in this game. And if we get an opportunity to get a second, we have to take it. We cannot fluff our lines against this Wolves side because going the other way, Hwang Hee-chan, Jimenez, Traore, Moutinho, Neves just pulling the strings. We could be in for a tough afternoon if we don't take our chances, believe that. But I'm hopeful that we can, and I'm going to go for 1 apiece. Thank you for watching. As always, please smash a like on the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're so close now to 7K as well. And if you're watching this now and you're not after, we've got Before the Whistle Blows Premier League preview as well this evening. But thank you as always for watching the channel. It means the absolute world. Have a great weekend. Hopefully Leeds will get 3 points. If you're at Elland Road, come say hi. If not, just say hi in the comments. Yeah, I'm rambling now. I'll leave it there. Peace out now. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.